So our next topic of discussion will be hospital building, which is a public building. A hospital is a place where patients come for treatment. So the hospital site should be such that it should be supportive for the treatment of the patients. So that means the site of the hospital should be clean, the site should be spacious enough, and the site should be located in such an area or such a site where there is no continuous source of sound, or where there is no or very less disturbance from continuous source of sound. And also the thing should be kept in mind that the means of transport should be there to the hospital. That is, there should be convenient means of the transport from the city to the hospital site. Okay, so all these factors need to be considered there. And also the hospitals like which treat the patients of tuberculosis and leprosy, which are infectious diseases. So such hospitals should be located as far as away from the city. Okay, so that thing should be kept in the mind. So what are the other factors that we can see, or what are the different components of the hospital building? So let us know that. So here you can see the planning of the hospital part, the principles of planning of the hospital part. Essentially we can see that hospitals, there we are having the classification mainly of two types, that is outpatient department and the inpatient department. So outpatient department, as we know, those people who are patients and they are not admitted inside the hospital. So those are the people who get treated and they can go to their home. So here outpatient department means what all it should consist. It should consist of an examination room, then it should have a waiting hall for the patients to wait for their turn. It should also have diagnostic laboratory. It should have like x-ray rooms, pathology labs wherein blood tests and other tests are done. So all these components are involved in the outpatient department. So the facilities to have the convenient means of testing, and to have the convenient means of examination of the patient, to have the convenient means for patients waiting in the waiting hall. So all these components should be adequately designed or adequately planned. So here you can see the floor area for each consultant, that is each doctor who is going to treat the patient. So each doctor or each consultant room that doctor possesses should be at least of 10 to 12 meter square area. So the consultant area, or the area, or you can say examination room, so that should be 10 to 12 meter square area at least. So then the entrance should also be such that it should be convenient for the people to come in wheelchair also. I mean, not the having the stepped entrance like that. Okay, so if at all the height is there for the, or if there is some height that is given to the doctor room from the ground level, so at least some ramp type, ramp means the sloping path. Okay, so ramp type entrance should be given such that even the patients who are on the wheelchair, they should be able to come inside the examination room. So then going with the waiting hall. So here as you can see on the screen, the waiting hall for per patient, it is standardized that 1.4 meter square area should be given, and the total area of the waiting hall should be at least 36 meter square. Okay, so per patient 1.4 meter square of area as a standard, and for the whole waiting hall at least of 36 meter square area should be provided. Then coming to the emergency section, we can see here on the screen, so it is 10 meter square to 15 meter square, or up to this area can go up to 30 meter square as well. Okay, so these are all the necessary things that should be kept in the mind when we are considering the outpatient department. Then coming to the inpatient department. So inpatient department means mainly we are having the wards, okay, and the subsequent connected rooms with the wards, the nurse waiting rooms, the operation theaters, etc. So when we consider a ward, so here as we can see, if we consider an area for the bed in the ward, So it should be 8 to 10 meters square. Like if we consider the bed area only, so where the patient is going to rest, so that bed area along with the area, some area should be given to the sides of the bed, right, for keeping that saline bottle stand, for keeping the other drawers, that is wherein you can keep the medicines, injections and all. Okay, so all those area covered, the total area covered for the bed, so that is included under that saline bottle stand and the drawer that is kept for the patient. So we can say for a bed we can give 8 to 10 meter square of area. Then coming to the number of beds, so actually in a ward there should be number of beds that is 24 to 30 as per the standard. So for a ward there should be 24 to 30, but nowadays we are seeing that we are having less number of beds. I mean, there will be small rooms actually, there will be small rooms and in each room there will be 2 or 3 beds like that. But actually according to the standard definition, if a ward we have to say, so that should be having 24 to 30 beds. Okay, so this is about the wards. So let us see in the next video about the continuation.